Seen that.
Yeah, no,
I've seen the one she was telling that people need to be woke. Everyone needs to be more woke.
Oh,
you should be more woke. You should figure out who's the wokest and try to be the wokest, but you should, whatever, everyone should be more woke. And she's like laughing. It's like, what the fuck?
And when we all sing happy tunes and sing Merry Christmas and wish each other Merry Christmas, these children are not going to have a Merry Christmas. How dare we speak Merry Christmas? How dare we?
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Leftist Losers Show, where we point out all of the losers of the left. And today I got a clip from the Joe Rogan Experience where Joe absolutely destroys Kamala Harris. You know, Joe's been getting a lot of flack lately from the MAGA movement people because, you know, Joe didn't endorse Trump, and he said some good things about RFK and how he likes RFK, and people, for whatever reason, overreacted and assumed that he was endorsing RFK when he wasn't. And I think it's pretty silly and foolish of people on Trump's team to do so, because Joe's probably red-pilled more Americans than any other media personality just through the simple fact that he pursues the truth and actually questions things in a reasonable manner and has a level head. And I think just by having those attributes and by, you know, questioning things, I think that leads a lot of people over to the red team. And I think we should support people like this because we don't need everyone to agree with us. We just need people to be reasonable, level-headed, and pursue reality, right? Which the Democrats do not do anymore. And Joe pointed that out a few times in this podcast and just absolutely destroyed Kamala Harris in doing so, because the sad reality for the Democrats is that Kamala Harris is a chameleon and she's a fraud, and she's probably got more hypocrisy and had more hypocritical moments than any other candidate they could have put forward. And so it's very easy to tear her apart. It's very easy to destroy her and make her look like a fool. And just by pointing some of these things out, Joe did just that. So we're going to jump right into this clip from the Joe Rogan Experience, and we'll see what you guys think right now.
Have negative energy attached to it and the karma of killing a bunch of people.
Right.
Like, who wants Dick Cheney's soul? You know? The alien's like, you could have that, dude.
Remember when he shot someone and then the guy apologized to him? Isn't that nuts?
You know how gangster that is?
Yeah.
You shoot a guy in the face and the dude's like, yeah, I look like a bird. Don't worry about it.
I look like a dude. Is there any way to you that we're not being gaslit like to hell by Kamala Harris?
In what way?
Like, wasn't she like a joke even among Democrats? Like 10 seconds ago? Like literally, like a day ago.
Yep.
And now it's like the country's rallying around.
I know.
Like,
yeah.
What? I don't know. I don't even.
Yeah, we're so easily manipulated, and they're all doing it in lockstep. Yeah, no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. She polled as the least popular vice president of all time.
Yeah.
She is, you know, I had dinner with a friend of mine recently who actually knows her. He says she's very smart, but when she gets in front of a camera, she locks up and she's just not good at communicating, and she tries to go off script, and she, you know, whenever you're talking in front of a large group of people, there's a bizarre stress and pressure that really constricts your ability to communicate.
I'm aware.
Yeah.
As of the last few minutes.
Yeah, it's weird. And this is just you and me, right? This is just you and me. And now imagine you and me, but we're in front of 15,000 people that are hanging on our every word, and you're kind of freeballing, and maybe you really haven't even done the research. Like, someone's asking you how you're going to fix the economy, right? And then you have some the problem is everybody needs money because the bills, and we're working on that. Like, what?
Well, and that's so obvious when, you know, with the passage of time is significant, and the significance of the passage of time is significant because of the passage of time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's someone who is basically like a kid in the 5th grade who's writing a book report, but they haven't read the book.
That's every time I see her on camera, that's all I can think is that she's...
Yeah, I think they're giving Kamala Harris a little too much credit here. And, you know, I can understand that. Like, not everybody's got the charisma to get up in front of a crowd and speak on things, especially just off the cuff, right? And that's fair. You know, we can grant that to her. But when you go look at her campaign page, her website, she doesn't have a single agenda item listed. She doesn't have a single goal or a single policy or anything on there of what she wants to accomplish. Now, this might have changed as of your watching of this video, but as of like 2 weeks into her running her campaign, when I'm recording this, she doesn't have anything on her website. Nothing. Just donation links and like a bio on about her and Walz. And that's insane. Like, so, okay, she might be really smart, but her and her team in their free time, when they can do it whenever they want, haven't even put out what their agenda is. So to sit here and be like, oh, well, it's hard in the moment to, yeah, okay, whatever. But, if she's that smart, you'd think she'd put up what her policy positions are. Oh, unless she's just a fraud, which she is.
The kid who didn't do her homework.
Right.
Because she just has that vibe. Did you see the clip of her talking about how dare we wish Merry Christmas to people?
No.
Yeah, she does this bizarre rant about how we shouldn't be wishing Merry Christmas to anyone.
Is this when she was a senator?
I don't know. It's recent.
It's recent.
Yeah.
Really?
It's so strange that that was her. That's the only time I've seen her passionate about anything on camera.
Come on, really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, no,
I've seen the one she was telling that people need to be woke. Everyone needs to be more woke.
Oh,
you should
yeah.
be more woke. You should figure out who's the wokest. And try to be the wokest, but you should, whatever. Everyone should be more woke. And she's laughing. It's what the fuck?
And when we all sing happy tunes and sing Merry Christmas and wish each other Merry Christmas, these children are not going to have a Merry Christmas. How dare we speak Merry Christmas? How dare we?
Merry Christmas, everyone.
She invoked Greta Thunberg a little bit there.
Oh, that's so nutty.
Yeah.
How dare we?
How dare we? How dare you?
Yeah, no, we're definitely being gaslit.
Yeah.
And not only that, here's the big one, right? She wasn't elected, right? She was appointed vice president, and then they didn't do primaries. They had no primaries for Joe Biden, and now all of a sudden she is the nominee because he's stepping away. And so then they bring in her, and they bring in this other guy who's radical from Minnesota. That's the vice president, who he believes a lot of wild things. One of them is transgender surgery for people who are under 13. Another one is abortion up until 9 months.
Ooh.
Yeah. Obviously, there's reasons why people medically would, if the woman's life is in danger, if the child has something wrong, it's not going to live. There's reasons why they choose to do things like that. But that stuff scares the fuck out of people. He changed the Minnesota state flag to make it look like a Somali flag. Yeah.
Oh.
You haven't seen that?
No.
Yeah. Show that video. So the video of him taking down the...
I feel like that gets glossed over a lot, and I should probably look more into why he changed that flag, but that just strikes me as the typical Marxist leftist where they want to erase the history of a community or a group they're trying to convert into a Marxist community, because history and traditions and heritage and all of that really makes it difficult for Marxists and communists to operate and take over, because it leads to people dividing amongst their groups when they need a collective. And it makes me wonder if it just seems like such a standard operating procedure thing for a leftist who gets into power to do is to change the state, the flag, something that has heritage and meaning and harkens back to when the state was founded. And he just goes, nah, let's just change it. Let's just change it, because screw that. For what? Why would you change your state flag? Come on. It seems goofy, right? So I don't know, but just these people that are getting put into positions of power nowadays are just some of the worst people in society. And you see that with people like Kamala. I mean, look at the Christmas thing that he just showed with Kamala Harris. The reality is she's doing that and saying both those things because she's just saying whatever is beneficial in the moment. She's flip-flopping. She's the stereotypical politician, and it's terrible. And she's, again, like he said, the big scary thing about this whole situation is that she didn't have to run in a primary. She didn't have to earn any votes. And it almost feels like a test run to see, will the American people accept a political elite who is just selected for them? Will they just cheer and hoot and holler and accept that and move on with their lives? Because if they will, why won't we implement that in the future? And I'm speaking as if I'm the bureaucratic state, right? I'm the government workers. If we just start picking their leaders for them and make it seem like they're getting to vote, but we just give them two options that we selected both of, and they get to just vote on those two, and they're happy with it, why not do that? It's kind of scary. It's almost like symbolically, if Kamala Harris wins this election, symbolically the Republic is over. The Republic has fallen because she was selected with no primary. No people were involved in getting her to a position to actually compete in the general election. She was selected by the oligarchy. So we basically, I guess, would be symbolically an oligarchy. Of course, they'll still call us the Republic, because they'll put on the facade that we still have power as people, but Will we actually? I don't know. I guess that'd be a good question to debate.
Minnesota flag, and he replaced it with the new flag that looks a lot like the Somali flag.
Wow.
Minnesota has a huge population of Somalis in it.
Well, isn't what's her face?
Yes.
Yeah. Omar.
Yeah.
Oh.
But there's a video of him doing it.
Man.
Well, okay, well, let's see the video. But they did change the Minnesota state flag, correct?
Sometimes the false.
Yeah, that's the problem with like fact checkers. Some of these fact checkers are completely full of shit. Like you're just trying to debunk something, especially now when there's all this scrutiny being paid attention to what this guy's done.
Yeah.
What have you? What's the false stuff, Jamie? It's not the flag itself, correct?
Yeah, I typed in. I was just trying to even get to it. A whole bunch of stories are popping up. I'll just show you this. Like, no, he didn't give him a Somali flag. No, he didn't change it to resemble Somali. False Somali.
But
state
what does
flag.
it look? Okay, but what does it look like now?
That's what I was trying to get to.
Okay, on the left is Somali flag. On the right is the Minnesota state flag. Okay, same color as Somali flag. A white star, a different white star in it, like the Somali flag. Very different than the original Minnesota flag. And there's the video down below that. That's when he changes it out. So he takes out the Minnesota state flag. Oh, hold on a second. Wait a minute. Turn the volume up, please, so you hear him say that.
All right, ready. Whoa, wait a minute.
So he gets the flag, picks it up, moves it out of the way, and replaces it. Look at this.
There, that's better.
Is it?
Why is that better?
I don't know.
Why?
And that's exactly my question: is why? Why change that flag? What's the issue, right? Why do you need to change the flag that was created? I don't know. I don't know how long Minnesota's been a state, but I'm assuming at least like 100 years. At least 100 years ago, somebody, people got together and decided that that should be the state flag. Why did you decide as governor that you should change it? Really seems to me like these people really want to erase American history. They want to change our culture, and they want to homogenize us into this collective that they can then control and implement something similar to China, right? And anytime somebody says, well, they want us to be communist, they go, oh, you're just some crazy kook boomer from frickin' the 80s, and you think the USSR is still around, and you're just nuts. It's whatever. That's not real communism. And communism becomes like the right side's racist, right? Like nobody takes it serious when you point out that someone's a commie. But these people literally are. They push Marxist ideology and they praise it and act like it's going to be the New Testament, it's their Bible, and that it's going to save them and bring them salvation. And they do things like this. Like I said, this comes right out of the handbook. Like change all of the ideology all of the symbology of your community. Start anew and erase the old, remove history so that you can build off of like a blank slate essentially and form people into good little Marxists. And it's scary to see because this guy's now going to be potentially the vice president of the United States. Somebody who dipped out on his troops right before deployment when he still had half an enlistment contract left. And because he did that, he lost the rank that he was, he was wearing the rank of E9, right? He was Sergeant Major, I believe, is the rank. But because he left in the middle of his contract, he did not meet the stipulations to maintain that rank, and therefore he lost it. But he still goes around and brags. I shouldn't say brags, but he goes around calling himself that, that title. And on top of that, his challenge coin, which are these little coins that military members and like people in politics usually hand out as like little gifts to people for saying like good job. They'll hand you a little challenge coin. They're usually customized. On his challenge coin, he has that rank that he does not. Like he no longer has because he didn't fulfill his requirements and didn't fulfill his contract. It's kind of disgusting. It's sad that that's somebody who we're about to potentially elect as the number 2 leader of our country should the Democrats get their way. And it's disgusting. I'm like exhausted at this point. So I apologize for talking slow and not making a lot of good points right now, but just like this stuff is so exhausting. It's so exhausting. Just the constant hypocrisy. The constant double standard, the flip-flopping, it's a lot, man. It's a lot to just constantly have to just digest all this garbage from these people and then see fellow Americans just buy into it. I've got friends who are Democrats, right? And you're saying, how the hell are you friends with Democrats? Well, I've got friends from before politics was everything and it was culture. And there's a couple of them I've asked without debating them or without pushing back. I just wanted to see like what they would say. And I said, hey, what do you think about Harris? And you know what they said? They said, oh, I'm actually kind of excited about her. And I said, okay, cool. What are you excited about? And they said, I don't know. I just think she'll do a good job, you know? And I was like, well, she's vice president now. You don't think she could do stuff now? And they're like, yeah, but she's not the president, so I don't think she has power. And it's just, you know, I just like to hear what they have to say without me getting into an argument. Because when people get argumentative and they get defensive and they say different things. So I wanted to come at them like I was just genuinely curious. And if they weren't really sure how I felt, then maybe they'd open up a little more. And it was really, really sad to just see some of these people just buy in and march along. Like, they're literally the NPC meme. Like, they're literally, their microchip, their processor was replaced with the new firmware. They got the new chip installed, the we're with her chip, and they're just all for it, man. And it's really sad. It's really sad. But you know what? There's also hope, because you got people like Joe Rogan. And this is what I was saying at the beginning of the video. It's really sad that the MAGA movement attacked him. Well, I shouldn't say the MAGA movement, because it was just a few like people who were pretty influential, sadly, that attacked him for saying nice things about RFK. And it's like, but yeah, but look what he's doing. He's pointing out the hypocrisies of Kamala Harris. And this does affect regular people, you know? Like, if a regular person can't think differently than you without being attacked, that's going to turn a lot of, like, independence off. That's the thing these people that were attacking Joe Rogan don't understand is, if somebody doesn't agree with you, but they at least understand why Kamala Harris is a problem because of the stuff like this, but then they see you attacking everyone who doesn't come out and say, well, I'm a Trump supporter, and throw the red hat on, that might turn them off. And then they might go vote for RFK or somebody else. And it's going to hurt Trump. So instead, why not embrace them and say, hey, we don't agree on things, and you seem to like RFK, but you're pointing out, you know, what's reality, and that's a good thing, because that's what really matters at the end of the day is what is reality, what are the real circumstances of the world we live in, and how can we make it a better place? That's what really matters. And the Democrats don't live in that world, and that's why the divide, the cultural divide, and the toxic tribalism is so intense, because there's two realities that do not overlap at all at this point, and they are butting heads. And one of them is based in actual reality, and the other one is based in gaslight fairy tale land, where they can cut the excuse my language, wieners and tits off of little boys and girls, because they think that it's a good thing, instead of, you know, trying to actually help these people because they're suffering mental health crises. It's just really depressing. But anyways, that's where I'm gonna end this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this clip, and I hope you guys go. Obviously, I don't really need to do anything because I'm a tiny channel, but go watch Joe Rogan. You know, spread Joe Rogan around, because I think his way of talking about things and questioning things is way more digestible than a lot of these right-wing personalities. So if you actually want your normie friends who might not be, you know, engaged in politics or might be leaning towards Harris, but aren't like diehard Democrats, because those people are probably lost, to be honest. If you want them to actually start questioning things and maybe lean towards the side of politics that you're on, Joe Rogan's where you should send them. Because he questions things in a calm, level-headed manner. He's funny. And even though he might not push them to say, oh, I'm going to vote for Trump, Trump's awesome, he does get them to start questioning all the BS that the Democrats are pulling, and that's what really matters at the end of the day, and that's what's going to win the culture war, right? Anyways, folks, that's all I got for you. Please like and subscribe and comment down below if you enjoyed this video, or if you didn't, you know, tear me apart in the comments either way, or comment down below what you guys thought about this clip and, you know, what you think of Kamala Harris. I will catch you guys in the next video, and hope you have a fantastic evening.